So this is just a quick follow-up video of the review I did of these HDMI capture cards, which cost £10 or around about that. Prices vary depending on where you get them from, but yeah, it works, it's incredible. But one thing I didn't test on them is the audio, and Arador Tech Tips got in touch and asked if I'd had any problems capturing audio with them. Well, I had to be honest and say I haven't even tried it, because when I'm capturing audio, and I know I've done this a couple of times, I'm talking into this microphone here. Same with the webcam. I'm not using the microphones that are built into the webcam at all. I'm just capturing the audio in this mic. It's going through a mixing desk. It's going straight into the computer, and I'm capturing it via an audio interface, a USB sound card. So I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll make a follow-up video, but I've been jam-packed with uni assignments. It's taken a few days for me to get those out of the way, and I just haven't had time to put a video together. But what I thought I'd do then is now that I've finished those assignments, I can get on to trying out the audio input from the camcorder. I've done the same, exactly the same as last time. I'm going to, well, I've plugged it into this HDMI capture card. I'm going to plug that in to the computer, and then let's see. Okay, so I'm just showing you part of the OBS window here. By the way, if I say OBS lazily as a shorthand, I'm referring to OBS Studio, which is available for free. I'll put it in the description, and it's this software that I'm using here to do all my streaming and my video recording right now. And I've done exactly the same as before. What and I'm showing you this bit of the window just because if I put it full screen, it's like the bit that you needed to see was behind my back, so that wasn't very good. So I've done the same as before, video capture device, and click OK on that, and then you get a choice of different devices. HD USB camera is my webcam. The reason it's not coming up now is because I'm using it right now, so you can't use a webcam in two different instances or two different programs at the same time. So I'm looking for this USB video, which is the capture card, and there's nothing happening at the moment because the camcorder is switched off, but we can fix that. Let's turn the screen around to face me, and then it should activate. And I got the lens cover closed at the moment, so if I open the lens cover, there we go, there's my lovely mug there. And what I've also done this time is put a little tripod on the bottom, because I was at risk of losing the camcorder off the desk last time I did this. Okay, so there it is, and that's just the video. That's only the video coming through to OBS now. So let's see if we can get the audio in. So what I need to do then is add a new audio input capture device. So the audio and the video will be separate in OBS, even though they're both in theory coming over the same HDMI, but I haven't tried this. Okay, so it says line in, that's my sound card, digital audio interface, which is I think also the sound card. Not entirely certain. Microphone. Okay, well, I'll take a stab on this being the right one. USB digital audio. Don't think it is though, I'm not entirely convinced, but we'll see. I mean, it is capturing something. If I move this over there, so you can see on the gauges there, it's capturing something, but I don't know if it's coming from the camcorder. I guess the way to tell. Now the audio you're hearing now is coming from this microphone, and that's a good sign actually, because I'm tapping this microphone and nothing's actually coming up on the gauge for the audio input capture. Okay, so that's interesting. If I turn my mic off completely, I just said you won't hear any of this because I've turned my mic off. Okay, so that's a good sign. So it is actually capturing audio. The next question is, what is it capturing? Okay, so first things first. Way too close. There you go. It's a bit more natural. Okay, so this is picking up the audio from the camcorder. I'll prove that by moving my mic out of the way. It's turned off anyway. But it's only capturing it in mono. So if I have a look at the audio properties, it's only providing me with one channel, a high sample rate, 96 kilohertz, but it's only one channel. So I guess the only problem will be if you want stereo audio from your HDMI. Not sure why it's not capturing stereo audio, because as I say, this is actually a stereo camcorder. You can see on the gauges on the camcorder. If I flip that around, you can see on the gauges there. So I'm just trying on the left, try something on the right. I don't know if that's coming through in stereo. I don't think it is because it's only recording one channel. Okay, let's go back to this mic. So Arado and anybody else who has a similar question, are there any problems capturing audio over this device? Yes and no. If you want stereo audio, I've only been able to capture mono audio from it. So I guess whether it's a problem or not depends on whether you want to capture in stereo or whether you're happy just capturing in mono over the HDMI. Because obviously if you want to capture in stereo, you're going to have to do something like I'm doing, where you have a separate mixer or separate piece of equipment to capture that stereo audio from your HDMI source. Suleiman, I think, had a comment as well. So he wants to capture the video output from his computer and then plug that into a laptop for streaming. Yeah, I don't see why not. But again, the problem will be that it captures in mono only, at least as far as I can get it to work. So what you'd need to ensure then is that your computer was outputting audio over the HDMI port, and many computers do. Mine will. I've had to turn it off because there have been times where my mixing desk's been off and my computer starts making noise and I'm going, how's that happening? All the audio is turned off, and it's because the computer automatically recognised that my HDMI monitor had speakers on it and it was connected by the HDMI cable, and it was just like sort of spooky because I didn't know it did that the first time it happened. So yeah, you need to make sure that your HDMI port acts essentially as a sound card and has an audio out. And yeah, it's no problem, but again, it'll just capture it in mono. I don't know whether there's drivers, updated drivers. I had a look through the manual. I didn't see anything about capturing in stereo. So yeah, yes, you can. I mean, what I could do is do the exact same test I did last time with my Windows tablet, which is essentially a PC. The difference being I'm going to try and capture the audio out of the HDMI connection this time, which I didn't do before. Another thing I didn't do before, I think, is just show off how low the lag really is. I mean, I'm doing this real time. I'm sure I could fake it if I really wanted to, but believe me, I don't have the time or the patience to do that. This is all real-time capturing. Look at that. And yeah, another thing I didn't expect was the views have blown up on this video. So thank you so much for watching this, and I really hope it's helped you as well. I mean, okay, yeah, it's a £10 capture card. I expected it to do well because it's pretty sensational to all of us who've reviewed it. Talking of which, Ardo Tech Tips, who left a lovely comment here. I want to recommend his video to you as well, because he's gone into the more theoretical side of it. I don't think he actually managed to get one of these at the time. I hope you've managed to get one now. But yeah, he's gone into the theoretical breakdown of it and referenced people who've actually physically opened it up and looked at the chips that are in it. So bear in mind, again, if you're going to use this for capturing gameplay and whatever you're using it for streaming, for any sort of thing, it does capture in 1080p but only at 30 frames a second. That's absolutely fine for me and means I don't need to get a more expensive capture card. It suits my needs down to the ground. Obviously, if you want 60 frames a second or you want 4K at 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second, well, then you'll have to get one of the more expensive ones. But for £10 as a backup, some people are buying them as a backup, you know, it's just incredible, really. So what I'll do is I'll turn this microphone off and I'll play you the capture through my tablet. Recently I made this YouTube video, which I'll put a link to up there somewhere. Long story short, webcams expensive at the moment. Capture cards expensive and hard to get hold of at the moment. But I got this £20 unbranded eBay webcam and it's been an absolute gem, and I'm using that for all my streaming and this vlog right now. But I'd given up on capture cards because they were really expensive as well, apart from one make that seemed to be about the £15 price point, but it was getting really bad reviews and people were saying, oh, it doesn't really capture at full 1080p and it overheats and stuff. And so I more or less gave up on the idea of using a capture card at all until the other night when I saw EPOS Vox's tablet's a little bit slow to respond to setting it to full screen and stopping. But yeah, hopefully that gets across the point. And yeah, I don't see any problem with this working with a full-blown PC, because this is a PC, it's just a very small PC. It'll work with a PC as long as I said before, as long as your HDMI supports audio out, which, you know, in most cases, if your PC's got a HDMI output, it probably is going to support audio out as well, but you need to check that. And yeah, games console, obviously that's going to work, but as I say, with the proviso that I can only get it working in mono. If you've managed to get it working in stereo, let me know in the comments. Also, yeah, let me know if you want me to do another follow-up video. I don't mind doing other tests now that I'm a bit more free to make more videos. Yeah, and cheers for watching.